Hello and welcome to Hitching the Trailer. I'm Greg, and with me, as always, is my own personal dial of destiny, Nicole.
Hiya.
First of all, we want to say thank you again to everyone who's been listening, everyone who's commented or posted on our stuff. We really appreciate it. I also want to say hi to our new friends in the Netherlands. Hoi! As they say over there, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. But today we're going to be talking about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So, you ready, pod, babe?
Ready, cast, babe?
You ready, pod? Let's go. All right. So, we're talking about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny today. So, what is this movie about?
You're asking me like I've seen it?
Well, no, I'm asking you, what does IMDb say?
Oh, okay. So, the plot, according to IMDb, says, archaeologist Indiana Jones races against time to retrieve a legendary artifact that can change the course of history. I feel like IMDb, when you go to watch a trailer, you've got to read the little synopsis, the little plot there. Mm-hmm. And I always need to know, does it match up to the trailer? Because sometimes you read them, they sound like it's going to be such a good movie or such a good plot. Right. And then you watch a trailer and you're like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah. Like, it'll be like, a young soccer player really goes through some traumatic events, and then you see him drowning in the trailer, and you're like, wait, what? That doesn't seem like the same movie.
It's confusing. But I always go in, I always watch the trailer, read the synopsis, and then I go through the cast, obviously. You gotta see who's in it.
So, obviously, Indiana Jones is...
First thing we have to talk about. Harrison Ford is 81 years old.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that needs to be acknowledged. This man, although I'm pretty sure he's not doing his own stunts, is 81 years old.
Yeah.
Like, how?
And he looks great. Because he
does. He's always looked great. He's always...
I know. But even, like...
had an older, rugged...
Yeah, well, he didn't start his... He didn't become... He wasn't Han Solo until he was 35.
Yeah.
So he was always, older.
Excuse me.
35 back then, though, looked like 65 now. You know what I mean?
Well, he wasn't getting Botox or...
Yeah, true. But, he started older, so...
Yeah.
And I mean, the last few things he's been in, Shrinking, amazing.
It's my absolute new favorite show. I recommend it to every single person I know.
He's just so good as the, like, sarcastic...
curmudgeon.
Yeah. Like... Go through, what's his IMDb? Like, starting at Star Wars, where Han Solo, he was the, cocky hero, as opposed to Luke, who was the naive hero. Mm-hmm. He was the one that brought, like, kind of the comic relief. And then after that...
Which is funny, because I don't think that's not the first thing you think of when you think of Harrison Ford. I don't think of comic relief.
But it's not so much as comedy, but like it brings a lightness to it. Like he's like, when he's talking to Jabba Hutt and he's just being like, I don't know, Jabba, like that type whole thing, like lying constantly. Even Indiana Jones, he's always like, well, I don't know where it is, when... We always know he knows exactly where everything is. So after Star Wars, what's his next movie?
Hold on, I just passed. So, actually, the first movie he was in was American Graffiti.
Yeah, but we don't count that.
Why? Who doesn't count that?
Because he didn't really have a big part, right? And then he didn't work again for like 10 years. He didn't work in anything big for like 10 years. And that was
Star Wars came out in 1977.
That was also Lucas. That was a Lucas movie, American Graffiti.
Star Wars came out in 1977?
1977.
Okay. Star Wars Holiday Special.
No.
In 1978.
That's one of the epic flops of all time. They call
it's got 2.1 stars.
It's like the worst movie of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a TV movie, and it was just it made no sense, and it was terrible. I actually watched it like last year.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Apocalypse Now in '79.
Which he didn't have a huge part, but still a huge movie.
Then I don't know what the Frisco Kid is.
That was a big movie. It was him and Gene Wilder, and I think it was a comedy.
I
I haven't seen it in a long time. It's an old movie.
I'm gonna guess though when the
IMDb blurb.
says a Polish rabbi wanders through the Old West on his way to lead a synagogue in San Francisco. On the way, he's nearly burned at the stake by Native American and almost killed by outlaws.
Already sold.
Yeah, it sounds absolutely ridiculous. Then Star Wars again, and then Raiders of the Lost Ark in '81.
Yeah.
And Blade Runner in '82.
Blade Runner, another huge movie. He's way more serious than that than the other two.
Well, that's what I think of. I think of like, okay, Witness.
Yeah, then he got
Working Girl.
Working Girl, he kind of played a little sly, no?
Not really. He was like curmudgeon. He's always been kind of curmudgeon.
Yeah, but in a way that makes you it's enduring to the audience.
I think you mean endearing. Enduring would be like you got to get through it.
Well, he's an action star, so he's also enduring.
Okay.
So I think one of my questions is was he the first action star?
No.
What?
No. In what way?
Franchise-wise. Where multiple movies, he was the, like, action guy. Mm-hmm. When you think about, there's now 5 Indiana Jones. There's 9 Star Wars, but he was in
now, I know
5 of them.
Do you consider Star Wars action?
Yeah.
No, it's sci-fi.
No, but it's action because
Says
he's
Says
the
you?
one. There's fight scenes. There's shooting. There's
There's
action.
fight scenes in lots of movies. There's action in a lot of movies that aren't considered action movies.
Name one.
I don't think that. What?
Name one.
Name one movie that has a fight scene or.
Yeah.
Fucking. Oh my god! It was just on TV the other day.
Who's in it?
Jonah Hill and fucking Michael Cera.
Superbad?
Yeah.
Action
there you go.
movie.
There you go. Okay.
No, that's like one
There's-
fight scene.
Then the cops are blowing shit up.
Yeah, but Star Wars, it's like constant the whole time. It's fighting. It's wars. Star War.
All right, let's look it up. Is Star Wars an action movie?
It's 100% an action movie. But before Harrison Ford reprised his role, who else was doing that?
John Wayne.
Those were westerns, though.
Wasn't there fight scenes? Weren't
Yeah,
there
but I don't think there
shootings?
was
Weren't
like
there...
It was like they didn't have the money to do the multiple shootings.
The genre that Star Wars is in is science fiction and fantasy. That is the genre. Space fantasy or space opera is what you would consider it.
Space opera.
Yeah.
How much sing? I think there was some singing in that holiday special.
So there's that.
So then, who to you is the first like action star?
I mean, I guess I would say Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I
Like
guess.
true action star.
Arnold Schwarzenegger came later.
I also feel like an action, to me, the idea of an action star is kind of like they're not necessarily there for the plot. They make action movies a lot of the time. Do you need the plot? Could you throw anything in there? Who's really paying attention? Or are you watching somebody, mow somebody down with a gigantic gun that comes out of their arm or whatever?
Yeah.
Not that I don't enjoy them. I'm just saying,
True.
like, I think the plot is sometimes neither here nor there for them.
Right. Well, Sylvester Stallone, I guess, would be above Harrison Ford. To start, like, because Rocky was like 78, Rambo was not far after that.
I also think of an action star. I usually think of a build, and Harrison Ford ain't it.
Well, what about Bruce Willis?
Yeah, but I don't know if I consider him an action star. Die Hard, other than Die Hard, what am I thinking of? You know?
Yeah. He was in...
I mean, he's done a lot of, like, unfortunately, at the end of his career, they did a lot of cop stuff.
He
But
did a lot of cop stuff. But...
I want to know how much, back to Indiana Jones, though, this one.
Yeah.
I want to know how much CGI is in this movie.
A lot. They said, well, because they do a lot of flashbacks. He said that they, like, de-aged him. They did the whole de-age thing, like...
That's insane to me.
In,
as long as they didn't do it like they did in The Irishman, because that shit was fucking terrible.
No, when in the trailer, when they show him younger, it looks just like he did.
It does, but is that...
then.
Okay, so maybe this is what I don't also understand about CGI. But is it him acting and then they just mess with his face?
Yes.
So does his voice sound like it sounds now? Because his voice, you know, as you age, your voice also ages
Yeah, they
with
could
you.
probably de-age that too.
They do that too.
Yeah, because they can do, like, you see the, like, scams where people call using the people, like,
Yeah.
people's voice that you know. So they could probably do the same thing with him. Just take his old movies and take the words he said and make it into dialogue.
But so then what's he doing?
He's acting it out, like, you know, walking through the scene or whatever.
He's miming?
Yeah, basically.
He's miming
Indiana
Indiana
mime.
Jones?
So Harrison Ford was not the first choice for Indiana Jones. Did you know that?
I did not. Who was?
Some random guy that,
Never heard from again.
well, he was like a character actor that Lucas and Spielberg wanted, but
Did they do the movie together?
yeah, this was a combo effort.
Hmm.
And the studio was like, no, we need a bigger star. So it was Tom Selleck. And they have scenes, like, of him, like, doing the, like, pre-scenes, but he couldn't get out of Hawaii Five-0. He was under contract. They wouldn't let him do it.
Wow.
So then, because Lucas he had already worked with Harrison Ford twice, and he didn't want to work with him again.
He didn't
And
like him?
It's not that he didn't like him. He just was like, what is this guy going to be in every one of my movies? Spielberg was like, no, he's right for it. And that's...
Can you imagine Indy with a mustache?
Big mustache. I feel like maybe it wasn't. It might not have been Tom Selleck, but there was a similar movies that came out. It was called Alan Quartermain.
What?
Look it up, Alan Quartermain. They would come on WPIX middle of afternoon. Anybody that is from the, you know, tri-state area or north from there had WPIX, and on Saturday afternoon they always had like the cheesiest movies. It's not coming up. ALANQU.
I think you made this up.
No, I'm telling you. My mom somewhere right now is like, I remember those movies.
They made them in New Bedford. Somebody shot them on a like shitty camcorder.
No, but I don't. It was.
Are you saying it was like the knockoff?
It was the knockoff. It was exactly the knockoff. Like he did. He was basically looking for treasure, just like Indiana Jones.
So is that, again, I have not seen all of them, but I've seen enough. That was his whole thing? So he was a professor?
He's an archaeologist.
But he was also a professor, because that's how it started in the first one.
Archaeology.
Okay. So, no, I understand that part. Thank you.
Yeah, and then they would send him on quests.
Who's sending him?
The government.
The government?
Well, because
what does the government have their hands in archaeology
we got to
for?
get the...
We just don't want the Nazis to have it?
Exactly.
That's what I got from the
That's
first
exactly
one.
That's exactly what it was. It's like, we got to get this before
Just
the
America
Nazis get
being
it.
America. We just don't want anybody else's hands in it.
Right.
So we're like, who are we going to call?
Indiana Jones.
Obviously, we're going to call this archaeology professor. Because who else do you call to beat Nazis and Indian... What were they?
Militia?
Like tribesmen? I don't know.
Galimad Actate. Didn't your brother like torture you with that?
Yeah, me and my sister. He would like do the heart sound in his throat, which now I do to our own kids. And he would do that with his hand, and he'd be like, and that's what he would say. Whatever the guy Galimad Chaktate, I don't know, but he used to.
He was just ordering calamari.
That's terrible.
So when the trailer starts, they're not playing the theme to Indiana Jones.
You're big on this.
I loved
You've
it.
mentioned it a lot.
Yeah, they start with "Sympathy for the Devil" from the Rolling Stones, and it's kind of shows Indy down and out. He's alone in his house, no
You sure
shirt
he's
on.
not happy about retiring? Because that all looks pretty decent. If
And
you ask
then
me.
he's on the subway, which I would think it was Halloween, but because there was a lot of costumes going on, but you never know on the New York subways, I guess.
Sure.
There was a kid sitting next to him with a like an astronaut
Yeah.
uniform on. There was like sailor women in the back.
I guess Halloween sounds pretty accurate, I think.
And that's not the only time we see him on the subway.
No. The third thing I wrote down was stunts, ? And then it was horse on train tracks.
Because he's riding a horse.
I'm so intrigued to see why and how that came about. And then I need to know, is that Harrison Ford on a horse? At any point in time. At any point in time, do they have him
I would
at
guess
81 years old on a horse?
I would guess there's a part right at the beginning where he looks back and he's like, "Oh boy," and then that's the last time he's on the horse, and then the stunt guy takes off.
Yeah. Do you think they lifted him onto that horse and then lifted him
I
right
don't know.
off?
He seems pretty like
Spry for
fit.
81?
Yeah. He seems like he's got everything working.
What's everything?
I don't know. Feet, legs, dong. I don't know.
Ew. Get out of
I mean, his
Get out of
wife-
Harrison Ford's pants.
What is his wife? 30 years younger than him?
Yeah.
Callista Flockhart?
I don't know how old she is at this
But-
point, but I think she's much younger than him. I know that.
Yeah, so I'm sure.
He has an earring, though, so he's cool. He's hip. He's with it.
So, when I was younger, I had 1,000,000 Star Wars figures, 1,000,000 G.I. Joe,
Hmm.
a bunch of He-Man, but I never had any Indiana Jones figurines. And
Did they make figurines?
That's I'm guessing they did.
I feel like there had
But-
to be some sort of set somewhere with that boulder
Yeah,
coming at him.
yeah. But then you think about it and you're like, okay, they have Indiana Jones and then they have what? Nazi 1, Nazi 2, Nazi 3? Like, is Mattel like, maybe we shouldn't sell so many
Those
Nazis
are the bad
in
guys.
Toys R Us? Right? Like,
Yeah.
like, there's no distinct bad guys that aren't Nazis.
Well, the guy
in the first one.
the guy Mads Milken, the guy that's the bad guy in this one, looks like a bad guy all the time.
Yeah.
Like he looks like that's what
He
was
could be a Nazi
made-
in every single movie.
That's what he looks like he was made to play, just
Yeah.
like a villain all
Oh, yeah.
the time.
He's got those eyes, those, like,
looks-
eyes like, I want to murder
He looks
everybody.
slightly hairless. You know,
Yeah.
like you're not sure if he's shaved it so that way none of his DNA is left behind, or if he was born that way.
That's funny. So yeah, that's perfect casting for them, and I think he's supposed to be, because this is 30 years after
The last one.
the last one. It's supposed to be 30
The
years
last
in
one
the
was
future.
the one with Shia LaBeouf.
No.
Oh.
I'm saying time-wise, Indiana Jones style.
Yeah.
The first one was
I know.
19.
I don't think that they made that one 30 years ago, Greg.
The Shia LaBeouf one. No, probably not.
Obviously.
I don't know. Yeah, no, that would have been.
That one.
No, that would have been 1993. Was 30 years ago. It could have been 20 years ago. Probably was.
It was not.
But in the first movie was 1939, and I think this one's supposed to be 1969. So I'm wondering if what's his name, Mads Milken, is supposed to be
Maids of Milken. That's what it sounds like.
Seven Maids of Milken.
Yeah.
Is he supposed to be the guy from one of the guys from the original?
I think that they show him in. They show in the trailer
him with
young Indy
with
with
him.
him. So I'm guessing they're trying to
wasn't.
say that he was.
but he was not in it.
Well, he couldn't.
Yeah, and most of those.
Well, maybe he could. I don't know how old he is, but.
And now, what's the girl that's in the movie? That's his goddaughter. What's her name?
Oh, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Yeah. Okay, that's something we need to talk about because that irritates me to no end. And I know, obviously, you're watching a movie, they have to set up who this person is. But there is nothing more irritating to me than when you're watching a movie. I feel like it takes me out of it when you're watching two people interact and then Indiana Jones has to say to the bartender that he probably doesn't even know, same thing for the goddaughter. Like, as if the bartender gave a shit whether she was your goddaughter, your girlfriend, your sister. Like,
when I bartended, how would I react to that?
Somebody saying that to you?
Yeah, if somebody would have said that to me, what do you think how I would have reacted?
I don't know. You probably wouldn't have said anything. You probably would have poured them a drink and...
Never talk to them again.
Yeah. You probably would have charged double for the extra information. You're like, fuck you, I don't care.
But you know where else this happens? On your favorite show ever, SVU.
Yeah, well, again, I know they're setting up a scene, so they have to tell us something. But it's just like, it's always done in the most unnatural way ever. Like, oh, of course I'd do anything for my favorite nephew.
Right.
Like, who says that? Nobody says that in real life. Like,
exactly.
That's the thing that irritates me. But I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I absolutely
what else
loved
was she
Fleabag.
in? Oh, Fleabag. I didn't watch that though.
Are you sure you didn't watch that with me?
I might have popped in an episode here and there.
Hot Priest, man. That was just such a good show. It was so well done.
Yeah.
She was awesome. And it was one of those where she talks to...
The camera?
Yes.
What else has she been in? Anything I would know?
Let's pull her up.
She's British, right?
Mm-hmm.
Harrison Ford's from America, though, so you got one.
Our sports room. Let's see. Well, she was in Solo.
Solo?
The Han Solo movie, buddy?
Oh! I thought you were talking about, like, Free Solo or...
Mm-mm.
I don't remember her in that.
Were you a big fan of Goodbye, Christopher Robin? She was in that.
Can't say that I was.
Broadchurch. We did love that show.
Oh, Broadchurch. But that was Olivia Colman was the main person, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bad
Education. We love that show, too. We love a lot of BBC shows.
Yeah.
We're big British television fans.
You know what? They're more to the point. Like, I
they,
feel...
They curse, and it's...
You know what? American shows now are getting more to the point. Like, but back when we started watching those, an American show would have 32 episodes.
Right.
This is with 8
to 10, yeah, and they would just
get in, get out, and let's do the thing. You know, like, oh,
more of like a limited series that they're doing now,
right?
Yeah.
Which is way more ingestible. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
How long? Like, when you watch that, what was that show? How to Get Away with Murder? It's like,
oh God.
I would leave for 3. Like I would. You'd be watching it, and 3 days later, it's like 30 episodes later, and I'm like, wait, they're still doing the same thing they were doing 30 episodes ago?
Yeah, that one got pretty rough.
It's like...
And then, what's irritating...
That's the ABC, NBC, CBS shows that are just
right. What's
terrible.
Irritating, too, is that you'll watch them, you feel like, especially now that the shows are over, which is when I tend to watch everything, but you'll be invested, you'll be watching it for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like they canceled the show, so they have to do a quick wrap-up finale episode, and you're like, what the how did we get here? Which is annoying, but yeah, no, Fleabag was great.
So in the trailer, it looks like she double crosses him at one point, where she's...
Which I do kind of like if they're just gonna get that out of the way.
The other
it's
thing,
not the main point of the movie. I like that they're telling me that.
Right. He says that she's his goddaughter, but then when they show her father, he wasn't in the other movies.
I don't know why they didn't use somebody else that was already.
It should have been like Salah, the guy, like, good job, Indy. That guy is always like, is like number one, who's in this movie super old,
Yeah.
they didn't de-age him at all. They're like, you got this, buddy.
Another thing, which I'm looking at, and I didn't see him now one bit.
Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, did you see Antonio Banderas?
No, but I read he's like, he helps him. He's like, when the part when they go underwater or whatever?
No. Oh, yeah.
He's with them then, because he's like a sailor or something, I read. But they did not show him in the
So
trailer.
he's just a quick in and out?
No, he's like on...
Oh, he is in it.
I don't know if maybe, spoiler alert, it's supposed to be a surprise, but...
Oh, him being in it?
I guess,
Like, are
I don't
people
know.
supposed to be like, oh, Antonio Banderas?
Is that Puss in Boots?
What are you doing here?
Antonio Banderas.
Karen Allen reprising her role.
Yeah, she was pissed because she only got a cameo.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. They thought, probably like the other guy. It was like, let's go, Indy! They showed the
They're like,
They didn't show her in the trailer either.
let's just tie her in. Just
Right. Well, yeah, because she was the OG.
Mm-hmm.
His OG love interest in that first one. And she's out drinking all the guys in the bar.
Yeah.
We just watched that one not too long ago, so that's fresh in the mind.
Yeah, Temple of Doom was the one that was big. That I think, obviously, my brother would say it. My brother was the one who was the big Indiana Jones
that
guy.
made the least amount of money at the box office, and I believe it has the worst rating.
Yep, sounds about right. That's what our family was big into.
You're like, oh, this one's terrible?
He
We're
might
in it.
say otherwise, but I just remember that one being the one that we watched. Because I remember being terrified at the snakes and everything.
It had the little Chinese kid that
And
just won the...
That was also that was a line that my family said also a lot.
What?
Like, come on, lady, we gonna go for a ride, ladies. Like, I don't know why that was said. I don't know.
I guess you can use it in a lot of instances.
Yeah, I think it was used in that type of context, but I don't even know. But yeah, I remember that one. I don't know.
So, yeah, as you alluded...
Well, no, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull actually has the worst rating.
Does it? The one with Shia LaBeouf?
Mm-hmm. Which came out in 2008.
So, 25 years ago. Nope. 15 years ago.
I'm like, I'm not good at math, but that don't sound right.
Come on, lady, we're gonna go for a ride. All right. Relax. Yeah, no. That one was not great because I feel like Shia LaBeouf was kind of shoehorned in there. They were trying to make him the next Indiana Jones. Kinda.
Mm-hmm. And people would be mad about that?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Why?
Ford is Indiana Jones.
But that's the thing. But would you rather see an 81-year-old that they have to CGI into doing shit, or would you rather see somebody else take it over?
We're going in movies.
No, thank
That's
you.
why I think that's part of what they're fighting about now. All the AI stuff.
I did. I saw
on strike.
Brian Cranston gave a rousing speech
Yeah,
about
because-
robots.
Yeah, with technology, you don't need any more. You can just use all the actors you've already used. You don't need new actors.
That's scary.
Mm-hmm. Like
They should watch The Irishman and then just decide that that's a terrible idea.
technology is so much better now. That itself was probably like 5-6 years ago now.
No.
Look it up. When was it?
2019.
That's 4 years ago.
Okay, you're getting worse at math as
I
we
said
go
5 or
on.
6 years. I'm 4 years, and about to be 5. We're halfway through the year already.
Calm down. Don't calm down.
So as you alluded to before, the music in the trailer, it got me. So it starts with Sympathy for the Devil, and then when he's on the horse, Sympathy for the Devil starts to fade, and in comes din 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 din, din, and you're like, oh, Indy is back. Here we go, baby. And that right there, just that one part.
Are you getting teary-eyed?
No, not teary-eyed.
You look like you are.
Amped. I'm ready to watch this movie.
All right.
Like
That's
that,
what it's supposed to do.
like, yeah, that's a good trailer. That's a good, like, the perfect trailer is like, you're like, how does this look? Oh, damn, we got to watch this movie, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and that's when he, as ridiculous as it is that he's on a horse in the subway, that music hits, and you're like, oh, we're into some shit now. And then he jumps from the trolley car to the little car in the one part, which I'm sure he did that stunt himself.
Mm-hmm. His brittle 81-year-old bones.
And then they have a giant rock they showed. Him and Phoebe Waller-Bridge are moving away from a giant rock.
I don't know if I remembered seeing that. I remember them falling down like a
Yeah, they're
thing with
swimming.
like water rushing in over them or whatever. No, also, airplane hangar opens up. They're just jumping from the butt of a plane. Everybody does.
Planes pooping out people, just like normal.
People just love doing that
Every
in
movie.
movies. But how often do people
poop.
do that in real life? Let's be realistic. If you're
Well-
not military,
Yeah, there's not that many
why are you doing it?
plane crashes. Oh, or yeah, those are like special types of planes too. The ones that like have the lower thing that lowers out, and like
Yeah, obviously. That's not like a commercial, you're not getting that on Spirit Airline.
well,
Spirit Airline, the whole back's just falling off of the plane, sucking everybody out. So everybody's sitting on their folding chairs, stapled to the ground.
that's so funny. Now, if you, as far as franchises go, where do you think Indiana Jones ranks?
I don't think I'm the right person to ask.
Yeah, you're not a franchise person.
No. No, obviously I am, because Mission Impossible.
True. Obviously, you'd put Mission Impossible above Indiana Jones, which
Obviously.
some people would think is an absolute travesty.
Okay. Fight me. What do you want me to say? Like, I think that there's another thing with, like, age. Like, not to bring up our gigantic, large, insane age gap than you and I have. But,
It's not that far.
I mean, obviously, I'm so much younger than you. So, I think that I just I wasn't at the age when it came out or anything like. I mean,
right.
I wasn't born, so there's that. But, I didn't really watch it until I was much older.
And you only had your brother to terrify you with.
Yeah, make me watch the awful scenes of snakes and them eating monkeys' brains or whatever that was, and it comes out.
Yeah. Do you know what that actually was? I actually read that before.
No.
It was a mixture of custard and strawberry and raspberry jam. So it was actually delicious, they said.
Makes
the
sense.
monkey brain. You know, the other thing I read that is insane to me. When, in the third one, and his dad is Sean Connery, they only have a 12-year age difference.
I feel like they do that so much in movies.
They do. They do.
So much.
Like, what did we just watch?
The
Tom Holland and, what's her name?
Emmy Rossum.
And Emmy Rossum. She played his mom in that show.
And I think it's...
Crowded Room?
Yep.
Great show.
It is a great show.
We enjoyed
I'm
it.
a big Tom Holland fan as well.
Yeah.
I think he's adorable.
Well, could he be the next Indiana Jones?
No, because he did that other movie with Marky Mark. The Last...
God is my savior?
No. Hold on.
That doesn't...
It's a video game.
Video game?
Yes.
Gran Turismo?
Uncharted. And it's like a big thing,
I
apparently.
think that did very well, though.
What?
I don't think it did very well.
Listen, you care a lot more about the box office
Well,
numbers.
because they don't make... If it doesn't do well, they're not going to make another one.
I think that they were planning on making another one.
That was like Dune. And it's like...
Ugh,
did we
that
need a
movie
Dune
was
2?
terrible.
Wasn't Dune 1 long enough?
Yeah. Dune 2 Electric Boogaloo ain't gonna do it for me. No interest. Like, oh, cool, Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya are in, they have contacts in and something up their nose and they go through sand. And I remember nothing else about that movie.
Yeah.
Not one
Spices.
thing.
I remember it was all about spice.
Oh, it was something like
Spice
snort
was like
or
a
something.
drug or
Yes.
something, yeah.
Yeah,
It was way too long. It was like 3.5 hours.
nothing happened. To my memory, nothing happened. I don't remember watching it really.
Okay.
I can't tell you my franchise-wise where I would put Indiana Jones.
Prediction time. Mm-hmm. Who do you predict will be the next Indiana Jones? Because I don't think they'll stop.
I'm going to tell you this right now. He's not born yet.
Huh. That's
Not
what
born
you think.
Yet. Yep. I don't think they're going to redo it for a long time.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's my guess.
You don't think they bring Shia back?
No.
You don't think... that obviously you would think like The Rock or somebody like that, but he always... Jumanji...
I would literally never think that, Greg. That is like
Really? Because Jumanji
No.
was very...
Because Indiana
He
Jones...
was Indiana
but
Jones
he's
like...
not supposed to be this big jacked guy.
True.
That's, again, The Rock is somebody I think of as an action star.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, he does a lot of garbage movies that you can kind of
Whoa.
go through The Rock's like history. I'm sorry, are we supposed to call him The Rock anymore? I feel like
I think he's
Dwayne
I
Johnson.
think he's gonna be back on wrestling since he's got no movies to make right now because of the strikes. So you'll be smelling what he's cooking.
I think he's great. Don't get me wrong.
No, he's great. He's great, but
Maybe
he's a little.
Maybe he needs to pick. I don't know. Like Jumanji was good.
You think no more of him and Kevin Hart movies?
Which one was the one with him and Kevin Hart? The
Central Intelligence, hilarious.
That was funny.
Then he did 2 Jumanjis with him.
Yeah, they're funny together. Like
Yeah.
watching them in like interviews and stuff. I always like to see them together. But I don't see him. I would never pick him as Indiana Jones. No. Mm-mm. I think that the person kind of has to be a little bit on the like.
Pudgy side?
I was gonna say lankier side, so I was going on, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's like.
Yeah.
Who's cool with the kids or anything like that.
Oh, Miles Teller. Be pre-Maverick Miles Teller when he wasn't as jacked.
I still don't think he's like jacked.
No, but
I
Maverick
think he's
he
too
got
old though.
Well, Indiana Jones isn't young.
But I'm saying they're not going to make it anytime soon.
But he's not too old when Harrison Ford started when he
he's
was
probably like
38, 39.
that's when he started doing the movies?
Yeah, because he was 35 when he did Star Wars, and that came out, I think when we looked, it was like 4 or 5 years later.
Yeah.
So he wasn't...
Yeah, I don't think they'll be doing another one for a while.
He wasn't young. 39's kind of old.
They'll wait. Knock on wood. No, God forbid. I think they'll wait till Harrison Ford's dead.
Yeah. Maybe.
Not that they do that a lot anymore.
Right.
They just make these movies.
Well, they'll just have them in it.
Redo the same
like they had
shit
Carrie
all the
Fisher
time.
in the end of the one Star Wars movie when she was already dead. They just used other footage. They could have
So
like
weird.
flashbacks
That's
with them.
so weird. Do you think they'll get to a point where they can do that in real life?
Yes. Yeah. It's Black Mirror did a thing
Like
about
just
it.
regular people just having like
Yeah. You're like they put your whole persona into a robot that looks just like it. That's what they did in Black Mirror.
oof, that's weird.
And the wife didn't like it. And she eventually made him live in the attic. The robot.
I would probably do the same thing. And we don't have an attic.
You try to do that to me now.
We don't have an attic, but you know.
You're like, can you just go upstairs for a little bit?
Yeah, right. I'm the one who wants to go upstairs.
You're a little much. So yeah, no, we're at the point where there's 80-year-old action stars.
Seems weird. But I think he's had a real comeback. I think that he had a little while where he was maybe he didn't want to be doing anything. Maybe he was taking some time off. Maybe he was relaxing. But I feel like he didn't really do much for a while.
He was like popping in things. Well, he did the 2 Star Wars movies.
Yeah, but that's not like...
I'm trying to think of what before that. I don't know. He's so good. Like, What Lies Beneath, amazing movie. 6 Days, 7 Nights. I love that movie with Anne Hesh. That was another, like... He wasn't, obviously, Indiana Jones going after a goal, but he was, like, in the jungle trying to navigate through.
That was a rom-com. Seeing as how you don't know your genres, I feel like maybe I should check that out.
I guess if you put David Schwimmer in there, it's always got to be a rom-com.
How many rom-coms?
Less calm. More rom.
David, you absolutely hate him.
He's the worst. Ross is probably one of the worst characters in TV history. I'll put him up there with the wife from Breaking Bad. She was terrible. Like, people that come on screen and you're just like, ugh, why?
That's how you feel about Ross.
That's how I feel about Ross.
I have to be honest with you. I don't agree whatsoever. And I think there's a lot more people who don't agree with you.
Women, mostly.
Yeah, how many...
I don't think any guys like Ross. He's like so...
I would like that to be a poll. Let's take a poll.
Yeah, we should do a poll.
How many guys like Ross?
He's so whiny.
This movie doesn't have a great rating, just so you're...
6 Days, 7 Nights?
It does say action, adventure, comedy, romance.
It used to be on HBO, like...
Right, so Harrison Ford.
When HBO just ran the same movies over and over again, that was one of them that got... I must have watched it like 7 times. When did it come out?
97.
Yeah. So, it was probably... I was home from college, summertime. They probably just kept showing it, you know? Mm-hmm. And I would catch it. Different parts, but I enjoyed it. I like a movie where they run through the jungle, like the movie with The Rock and Stifler.
I don't know that one.
It's like you got to navigate the jungle. Those are movies that appeal to me for some reason.
Which Jack Ryan did you like better?
Clear and Present Danger.
Better than Patriot Games.
Better than Patriot Games. Do you know, I saw this when I was looking up Harrison Ford. Mm-hmm. Alec Baldwin and Harrison Ford do not get along. Alec Baldwin has beef with him because...
I don't think a lot of people like Alec Baldwin.
Well, no, Alec Baldwin doesn't like Harrison Ford.
Oh.
Because Alec Baldwin was in The Hunt for Red October. He was the first Jack Ryan. And then he feels like Harrison Ford went behind his back and stole Jack Ryan from him.
Do you think he did? I don't think... Well...
No.
Harrison Ford just doesn't strike me as somebody who...
No, you know what probably happened?
Going on his way.
I wasn't in Hollywood at that time.
No,
but
you came a couple years later.
Alec Baldwin was probably impossible to work with. So they were like, how about we get somebody that's like... seems pretty cool and will kind of just take direction or whatever. Because it seems like... I read a bunch of stuff, and the only person that seems to not like Harrison Ford is Alec Baldwin. Like everybody else. They even, on one of the sets of Indiana Jones, I forget what it was, but Steven Spielberg played a joke where Indiana Jones is tied up in, oh God, what's her name? She was a singer. She was in the original movie that I love. Barbra Streisand.
Wow, that took you a while. I did not think that's who you were going to say.
They let her on set with a whip.
What movie do you love that Barbra Streisand is in?
No, that's not. She was in the original of the movie I love with Lady Gaga.
Oh, wow! You were taking so many steps.
I was trying to get there,
and that's not the original. Just so you know.
Okay, well, it's the most known original, I guess.
Judy Garland was in the original, which.
Back in your day, Judy Garland was the bee's knees. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
I'm just explaining. You took a long road to get there anyway, so
you're like
you and Babs, go on.
You're like, you know what? the best movie ever was Oklahoma. The wind, it just came whipping off the plains.
You sound like you know more about
Of course I know. I
Oklahoma.
was in plays when I was in...
Say, you were a theater kid.
No, when I was like 12, yeah. We did that one. I remember that, and I remember 76 trombones.
That's a play.
76 trombones led the big parade. I think it's in that play, though, no?
Maybe Music Man.
I don't think. Yeah, so they unleashed her on set to mess with Harrison Ford. And she had a whip, and she was like...
Why? Did he have something against Barbra Streisand?
No, they just thought it... Because she was just being loud, and, like, he had no idea. I guess they were friends.
Okay.
But she just showed up to, like, I guess, to hang out the one day on one of the filming days. I don't know, maybe she knew Spielberg from something.
Okay.
The only other thing I want to talk about is the music, which we kind of went over, but John Williams, who did the score for all the Indiana Jones, is an absolute genius. So he did all the Star Wars, all the Indiana Jones, E.T., Home Alone. I'm trying to think. He did like JFK, Born on the 4th of July. Like every big movie, it seems like he was the one that did the music for it.
Wow.
So Jaws. So anytime you hear like anything that's like, you just know the movie.
Right.
As soon as you hear like, you know, did it, you know what it is. Or with Indian, and you're like, oh, that's him.
That's
like,
crazy.
Is that genius or what?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Even Star Wars has the Imperial March. Dun, 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 dun. But he's still kicking too. He's still doing it.
Is he older than Harrison Ford?
Oh, I'm sure. He's probably... Well, I actually don't know.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford is old. But Steven Spielberg's got to be pretty old too. He's got to be in his 80s.
Look it up.
I mean, George Lucas too. They all have to be in their 80s, no?
I mean, do they have to be? He is younger. Steven Spielberg is younger than
Harrison Ford.
How old
is he?
He was born in 46. Harrison Ford was born in 42.
Wow. So he's 77 then. What about John Williams?
George Lucas is also younger than Harrison Ford. He was born in 44.
Wow.
What's his name?
John Williams.
I don't know if he's yeah. Oh my gosh. He did Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. That, remember before I was trying to think of, I was like, he did another huge franchise.
He was born in 32. So
Yeah.
he is 91.
Yeah. And he did this movie.
That's crazy.
Right?
As of 2014, he holds the record with the most number of Oscar nominations in Best Musical Score with 43 nominations.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude.
His wife is also still alive.
Wow. Also 92?
No.
She's actually 32. Get that Oscar money, baby.
Gross.
All right. Well, I think we did it. Anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so. I think we hit it all. So the actual question is, are you pitching your trailer?
You know I am.
Yeah.
As soon as that hit, as soon as he hopped on that horse and started going through the subway.
He had a big old chode for Indiana Jones.
Oh, I'm in. I'm so in. I can't believe we haven't watched it yet.
True.
They didn't do... Disney has been doing a terrible job of promoting their stuff lately.
Is this Disney?
It's Disney, yeah. They bought the rights to it, and that's why all of a sudden all the old movies popped up on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I saw Disney production, and their movies have not been doing good, and they're not doing a good job. They should just be putting it on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Like if you're not gonna do like
these money hungry sons of bitches.
Well, if you're not gonna do a good job promoting it,
yeah,
just put it on your streaming service and get people to sign up. we would have watched it already. More likely than not.
True.
All right. So, thank you everybody for listening. What are you shaking your head at?
You didn't ask me if I was hitching.
Oh, jeez. I thought you already said. Are you hitching your trailer to this movie?
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna put it on, and the boys will love it because they liked the first one.
They did.
They sat and watched the first one.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it. It's probably a movie I'll be in and out on, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Gonna be on your Instagram stories, looking up your reels, a little TikToking during it.
What?
I don't know. What do you?
I don't have a TikTok.
What do you young people do?
I know, I am one with the youngins, but I don't have a TikTok.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.